Thrown in, rough hit again, Rocking, beaten by McIntosh.
There's a big mark over the back from big Hank McIntosh.
We saw this guy kick 7, he lays it off Thomas with the outside of the boot.
Hi guys, this is my personal best for the top 10 ruckmen who have played over the last 25 years. Before I start, I'd like to give an honourable mention to Stephen King. Being a massive Cat supporter as a kid, was a great player, but unfortunately I couldn't squeeze him in the top 10. And for Polly Farmer, although it was probably past 25 years ago, absolute champion player. I was a massive Cat supporter at the time and I just knew he was an absolute champion player. The number 10 to start off with is Brad Ottens, obviously from the Richmond Football Club, and then went to Geelong. Started as a forward and then came to Geelong as a ruckman solely. Loved the responsibility of just being that number 1 big man. And the thing I loved about Brad was that he was just a big player in the big games, and he was a massive player in their premierships. Performed really well on the big stage. I remember the prelim final against Collingwood when he single-handedly got him over the line and won the game for him. So never frightened to get his knees dirty, and I just had a lot of respect for him as a player.
We throw in the pocket. Bomber Thompson can't do much now. Adler gets through. He can do plenty. Books it back. How about that?
Just watch this tap by Ottenzo. Beautiful tap. Adler just able to push off his direct opponent, knew exactly what he was doing, able to screw the ball back off again. Only one clear hand on that ball, and that was Ottens.
It's gone into the centre bounce because Brad Ottens, that's his 3rd hit out to advantage in a row.
And that 3rd clear.
Ottens, what a mark! Will he ever come down?
That's a beauty. How good's that?
Number 9, big Spider Everett. Started at St Kilda obviously, and then went to Hawthorn and Sydney. The thing around about Big Spy is an incredible tap ruckman, but the fondest memory I have was that every time he'd go out to the wing by himself, he was never frightened to hit a kick on his lethal left foot, and he had great skills for a big guy. A 3-time All-Australian, just a fantastic player, and yeah, just a great ruckman will go down in history as one of the best.
Back towards Spider Everett, playing it out in front. The big fella, the blind turn onto the left foot. Has he done it?
From the centre circle, inside 50. Big pack gathers. Everett!
Sensational. Crowd had a great season last year. Kicks well inside the forward 50. How's that? Brilliant half volley. Everett deserving of a goal. Spins around.
Number 8, big Brendan Lade at Port Adelaide. I was lucky enough to play a few games against Brendan, and he always took the chocolates against me. But the thing I remember most about Brendan was his incredible tap work. He was the relationship he had between him and his midfielders, especially the Burgoyne brothers, was just sensational. And some of their clearances they had through their successful years was just outstanding. It was all due to Brendan, not only his tap work, but the chemistry he had with his midfielders. And I just had a lot of respect for him as a player, and yeah, he was a champion of ruckman of a decade.
Brendan Lade's the target. And collects it.
Lade's just a quality tall man. He was always going to mark that.
And you said, Jason, a percentage kick. Fair grab too. We forgot about.
Goes for the spiral punt kick right to the goal front, and Brendan Lade has launched it from 70 metres.
Number 7 for the Bulldogs, big Scotty Wind. The thing I loved about Scotty Wind was that just played with heart. It was all passion. He led the Bulldogs from the front, and when you thought of Footscray at the time, you automatically thought of big Scotty Wind, and he's big-hearted, just leading that club from the front, and he was incredibly mobile for a guy his size. And in a time where it was tough, where it was always a midfielder's medal, for a ruckman to come out and win the Brownlow as he did is just a tremendous effort, and you could have a lot of respect for a guy that's done that, and just a tremendous footballer. I've got a whole deal of respect for Scotty Wind, and he goes down as one of the great ruckmen of all time.
Holding it up now, Lamprell. Eventually, long towards the top of the square. Pack form, Wind. Excellent work.
Scotty Wind is an excellent, great player for that beautiful loose.
So Wind bustles in, takes the ball, charges away the big bloke. Oh, Scotty Wind.
Number 6, Corey McKernan. Obviously started at North, went to Carlton for a little bit, then come back to the great club in North. Big bull, just a big, aggressive man. Just loved the challenge, a big stage performer. Could take a great grab and would be perfect in today's footy. Can play forward, can play ruck. just plays like another baller. And I remember in one of the finals he had 28, 30 possessions in a grand final, nearly best on ground. So he's just a fantastic player, aggressive. I had a lot of time working under Corey when I was at North, and he was there at the same time. Just a tremendously big player, and I guess you look at him now, he should have been a Brownlow medalist. So again, not an easy feat coming from a ruckman. So yeah, just a great player, and yeah, I was lucky enough to play under him, and I've got a whole deal of respect for Corey.
Bounce of the night then. Not a particularly good one. McKernan thumps it down towards half forward. Big roar, runs inside.
They concur. Wellman with McKernan. Oh, gee, that's a snap. Oh, don't tell me he's kicked it. Oh, Gary Ablett, eat your heart out. What a goal. Marking contest in the goal square. McKernan! Has he kicked it? He has.
Couldn't well have, but gee, agility for a big man, tremendous.
Number 5, big Aaron Sandilands. Obviously the man mountain himself, still playing around now. And Aaron's just a tremendous athlete for a guy his size. And you think when you go and you're playing against him, you think, well, he's so big that you could probably try and run him around. But Aaron's running capacity is just as good as his strength. So you can't really find too many weaknesses in his game. So he's just such a dominant force now. And I've noticed in the last 2 or 3 years in the game, he's taken his game to that next level where if he's on, he's literally the difference on the field between winning and losing. If he's having a bad game, then you're in the balance. But if Aaron's on, it usually means that Fremantle are going to win the game, and there's just no saying it because he's just such a big, demanding presence out in the ground. So with a guy like that, he's just such a dominating ruckman, and you have to respect him and go into games and probably try and take a step ladder out and try your best. So yeah, when he's on, he's just a fantastic player to watch.
Barron's all on his own on this side, but they like to go safe.
Broughton goes to the contest. Sandilands, strong, like a big gorilla. Just ripped it in.
Quick play on Hill, hacks it forward and nails the goal. And that's the sort of tap, Shuri, that Ross Lyon has been looking for. He thought he was going to have to wait for Christmas Day to get one like this, but there it is. And if it can happen once, brilliant stuff there from Aaron Sandilands.
Number 4, big Justin Madden, started at Essendon with his brother, then went to Carlton. Big Harry Madden, I guess everyone kind of remember Justin as the larrikin out on the field and always having a laugh, and you know, it was a bit of a stage show sometimes really, but I think people forget of actually how good of a player he was and how good of a tap ruckman he was, and the relationship he had with Williams and Ratton and those guys was just first class. And when Carlton's successful years through the 90s, you know, Justin Madden was the main reason because he's just putting it down their throats. So still the fondest memory I remember of him was the time he took that bounce, ran away from Sean Wren, I believe it was, and took a couple of bounces and kicked that goal. And I never remember laughing so hard that day, but just had a amount of respect for him the way he kicked that goal. But yeah, just a fantastic player and really one of the great tap ruckmen of the modern era.
It's been pretty quiet. His left footer, Madden is 30 metres in the clear. Wren giving chase, what a sprint. This is something to watch. Madden goes long for goal. He might have kicked it. Sensational. I have never seen the like of it.
Smith, ball paddled back by Mackenzie. Over it goes to Madden. Picks it up, shrugs one tackle, gets around another, and another. Oh, Madden.
Number 3, Jimmy Steins from Melbourne. Oh, obviously Jimmy Steins, you know, what can you say? Absolute legend of the game and will leave an impact on the game for history. So just a fantastic story. A guy to come out of Ireland and come out and really play a way in the ruck that no one had ever played in that way before. To come out and play as an extra on baller and have incredible endurance and then start rucking up the possessions and playing like an extra midfielder that, yeah, as I said before, no one had really seen before. And to come out and take the game on and have the background like he had from Ireland was just tremendous. And to win a Brownlow medal, be named the best player in the competition from where he'd come from, where he came to Melbourne. I believe he got sacked and had to go away and play in a local league and then come back and then do it the hard way, and then to come out, be named the best player in the competition is just a fantastic effort. So just a great endurance athlete. I've heard stories about him just running opponents off his legs, and I guess in today's footy he'd be perfect because you played as a sole ruckman, you need incredible endurance, and Jim obviously had that. So yeah, just a great player.
Sense of urgency suddenly in this Hawthorn outfit. Stynes in from the side.
Not quite the time. A pack all around him. Stynes over the top.
Dominating so much. They are pinpointing their passes superbly, maintaining possession, and the Bears when they get
goals. Stynes! Oh! Jimmy, I didn't think you could get that high off the ground.
Number 2, Simon Madden from Essendon. I didn't get to see too much of Simon play. It was a little bit before my time, and I was obviously probably a baby still kicking around in nappies, but I guess when I look back through Simon's record, it's fantastic. He was Essendon's leading goal kicker 3 or 4 times. He was named in their team of the century, just a fantastic player. And to play 378 or 80 odd games and play as forward as a ruck, he'd just be perfect in today's footy because you need to be able to play both positions. And he'd be great to have an outside, I know that, and he'd be great with the sub rule. So, but looking back through his history, just a tremendous record, a great tap ruckman, one of the great successful brother partnerships that he had with him and Justin, and he will go down as one of the greats of the footy club and one of the greats of the game. And yeah, I'll probably now wish I got to see more of him play because from what everyone tells me, he's just an absolute fantastic player to watch.
Have gone in the second term.
As the knockout knocked out by Madden, he's dominated the knockout.
The Swans lead by only 11 points now after that goal by Watson, and crashed away by Madden again. Round certainly out-rucked today, but Madden has been probably the best ruckman in the VFL this year. Look at that for a punch away.
We thought earlier in the day he might be too far out. He's going to play on around Irving, drop punt.
Oh, don't tell me.
What a kick! Unbelievable.
And number 1, Dean Cox from West Coast. Yeah, big Dean. He's got a very, very good record against me in the last probably 6 or 7 games. I think he's averaging about 6 best ons. So I pretty much have to definitely name him number 1, but in saying that, he is number 1. He's revolutionised the ruck game, the ruck role. He's just an incredible athlete. And not take away from his ruck work, he's a great tap ruck with the relationship he has with his on-ballers, but his endurance, the way he can just run his opponents off his legs and just rack up midfielder-like possessions, 25 to 30 a game, and his skills are just exquisite. So there's no real weaknesses in his game, and his strength, I think, has now been how over 4 or 5 years he just keeps backing it up year after year and just show he's the best player or best ruckman in the game. So there's no doubt in my mind that he's the best ruckman of the last 25 years. He's changed the way that ruckmen play. He's changed the ruck role. And I'm sure most ruckmen out there in the AFL now would be looking in some way to have a bit of Dean Cox in their game.
To Fletcher, to Cox, who's run away from Fraser. Cox works his way to 50. He goes for home, and that is a magnificent goal.
Butler kicks quickly, touched off the boot, was it? Play on, Cox, nimble skills from the big man. And he's kicked a wonderful goal!
Chicks cramped up off the side of the play. It's picked up by Embley. Hoyts one long off hands. Kept in play. Cox takes him on. Turns